Welcome to Bitcoin Lifestyle, the show where we talk about Bitcoin lifestyle platforms that help you incorporate Bitcoin into your daily life. My name is Mary, and today we'll be looking at Stacker.news. Now, Stacker.news is a forum like Reddit or Hacker News where you can earn real money for creating or curating content. So on this platform, people are able to upvote your content by sending you Bitcoin. And they can also upvote your comments, thereby giving you two different areas where you can earn Bitcoin by creating content. So you can create content and earn Bitcoin, or you can comment on a post and people can upvote that post and you can earn Bitcoin from there too. But before I go into how Stacker News works, I want to tell you a little bit about Stacker News culture. So just like every social media platform, Stacker News also has its own unique culture. So in order for me to explain how the culture of the platform is, allow me to use this as an illustration. So, for example, if you want to use Twitter, you do not use Twitter with the mindset of using LinkedIn. The languaging will be off, the way people perceive you will be different, and you will not be able to communicate what you want to communicate because you're not using the language and the style of that platform. The same way, if you want to show up on Instagram, you will not use the language and culture and style of LinkedIn. Just in that same fashion, you cannot come on Stacker News and expect your content to do really well if you're not creating content in line with the culture of Stacker News. So for now, Stacker News is focused on Bitcoin only content, but sometimes you get to see different types of content on different areas. So maybe your content idea could work on Stacker News too. I know that with time, as Stacker News evolves, we'll start seeing more and more variety of different types of content. But for now, we're seeing a majority of content on Bitcoin only. But that being said, it does not mean that you're not allowed to test your content ideas. So every day on Stacker News, there is a thread on general discussion. So there's always a general discussion thread, which is a place where you can start testing your different content ideas. And if people are commenting or giving a positive reaction to that content idea, then I think that is a good indicator of you to create content or a separate post on Stacker News about that content idea. So allow yourself to experiment, but make sure you do it cautiously. All right, now that we have that out of the way, let us learn about how Stacker News works. So Stacker News is a web platform, so that means you can access Stacker News from a web browser. It could be on your phone or your laptop. All you need to do is just type in the link Stacker.news. Once you're in, you can create an account or you can sign up with your Twitter account, and it just takes a couple of minutes. Once you have created an account on Stacker News, you can start creating content right away, and people can upvote your content right away as soon as they see it as well. Personally, as a new user of Stacker News, I would suggest that you start off by creating or filling out your profile. So your little bio about yourself, what do you do, maybe even add some fun facts. That bio acts as your first piece of content that people could also upvote as well. So I think that's a great way to start. When you first sign up to Stacker News, you're given some free slots, or which allows you to comment and make posts for free. But once you've exhausted all your free slots, you'll have to pay for your subsequent comments or posts, which is not bad. I know that once you start creating valuable content right off the bat, you will be able to earn some Bitcoin, which allows you to continue to keep posting and commenting, which will then bring in more Bitcoin for you. Creating a bio first gives you that opportunity to meet new people and get to start building a small community around who you are, what you're interested in, and the type of content that you want to create in the future on Stacker News. All right, let's give a quick tour of Stacker News before we go into how you can start earning Bitcoin on Stacker News and the content strategies that will help you. So when you go into Stacker News, you see a long list of all the posts, or a long list of most of the posts that were posted on Stacker News. So you can start, you can click on one and start reading or commenting on any of the posts. So when you look at the post, you get to see the headline, the person who created it, the number of comments, and the number of sats this post was able to accumulate. And sat is short for satoshis, and satoshis is the smallest unit of Bitcoin. So as you can see, each of these posts that are on the first page of Stacker News have earned some sats. So when you click on the Thunderbolt icon next to the post, what happens is that you are giving a 1 sat tip. As soon as you click on that, you've already given a tip to the person who created this post. When you long press the Thunderbolt icon, you have the option to set a custom amount of how much you want to send that creator. When you look at the menu here, we have the recent tab. So under the recent tab, you get to see all the recent posts that were made on Stacker News. So as you can see, some of these posts were posted at like 60 minutes ago, 17 minutes ago, and some haven't yet even earned some sats yet. So these are where the early posts hang out. This is where, if you make a post right now, this is where it goes to, the recent posts. Sometimes I like to go through the recent posts and see if there's any posts that I could comment on and start creating momentum from there. You also have the top button, where you get to see all the top posts or the top comments, the top users, and you can also filter them by the number of votes, comments, or satoshis. You can also filter by the top posts of the day, week, month, year, or even forever. Also on the menu, you have jobs. So under Stacker News, you have a job board where you can go and apply to any of the jobs listed, and these jobs pay you in Bitcoin. Then you have the post button, which will take you straight to where you can start writing your posts. Next to the post button is the current price of Bitcoin. So as of the time of filming this, the price of Bitcoin is $17,654. Next to the price of Bitcoin, we have this bell icon, which is the notification. So when you click on it, you get to see those who probably mentioned you in a comment, or people who tipped you or dropped a comment on one of your posts, or it also shows you how much like sats you were able to collect from the post, and also the sats reward that Stacker News shared with you. Next to the bell icon, you see your username. So my username here is right next to the bell icon. When you click on it, you have a drop-down menu which shows your profile, wallet, statistics, invite, settings, and logout. So for the sake of this video, we're going to have a look at the profile. So when you click on profile, you get to see your bio, you get to see the number of posts you've made, the comments you've made, and you also have a link to the statistics. And statistics there is the same statistics that you have under the drop down menu when you click on your name. So let us have a look at the wallet. So whenever you sign into Stacker News, like I said earlier, you are automatically given a wallet where the Bitcoin you earn goes into. You can also withdraw the Bitcoin that you earn, or you can fund the wallet by adding more Bitcoin to inside your Bitcoin wallet on Stacker News. When you tap on statistics, that takes you to a page which shows how much satoshis you spent, and on which post, who you gave a tip to, how much you gave a tip, how much tip you received on that post, and it's all, you get to see all the whole breakdown of how much you earned or how much you spent while on Stacker News. Pretty cool, right? Right here on the statistics session, you also get to see your Lightning address. So your Lightning address looks like an email address, and people can send you Bitcoin using this Lightning address. And if whenever they use this Lightning address, it goes straight into the Bitcoin wallet on Stacker News. Now let's go into the exciting part, which is how you can earn Bitcoin on Stacker News. So like I said earlier, when you create a post or make a comment on Stacker News, people can upvote that post or comment with Bitcoin. And that's one of the ways you can earn Bitcoin on Stacker News. Make sure that whenever you're creating a post, you're creating a post with value, and because it's a lot easier to tip a creator who creates valuable content than to tip a creator who creates content that is not interesting or valuable to the reader. So a really good tip is to go through the top posts on Stacker News and see what people are interested in reading, and you can create content along that line or maybe in that style, which will grab people's attention and attract more people to start reading your content and maybe even send you some Bitcoin. Another thing to note when you are creating content is that you need to make sure that you are engaging the people in the comments. When you create a post and people comment, make sure you comment back, ask them questions, sustain that conversation so that your posts will get more visibility, and as more people see your post, they also get interested in tipping you as well. Another thing to take note of is that when you're really active, Stacker News shares Bitcoin rewards with their users. So if you're active and your post is performing really well, they share the Bitcoin rewards based on the performance of your content. So there are some pro tips that I think would be helpful in helping you get more Bitcoin, or rather increase your visibility as a creator on Stacker News. One of the things that I would recommend is to create a series. So if you create a series, maybe like a 5-part series or a 6-part series, or just a continuous series about a particular topic or your experience on something, that could be something that people could follow on a consistent basis. And when they follow you, you're building a community around what you do, around your interests, and you're creating this community who would want to support your content by sending you tips. So one of the methods that I would suggest would be, whenever you're writing a series, always make reference to the previous part of the series. Let's say, for example, you're creating a 5-part series on how to be a better content creator in the Bitcoin space. When you create part 1, make sure you reference the link of part 1 in part 2, and the link to part 1 and 2 in part 3, and so on and so on. What that does is that it brings more eyes to the past posts, just in case someone who is reading maybe the 3rd or 4th part of your series missed the first 3 parts of your existing series.